Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbal Space Program Hardcore mode. This is the series in which I am playing pretty much a stock game, just sort of dressed up, make it looking pretty, but and some additional UI mods, but all the gameplay, all the parts, all the contracts, all that stuff, all stock. So if you are playing just a stock game, you could potentially follow along with what I'm doing here. And why don't we get into exactly what we're gonna try and do this episode. What we see in front of us here is, thankfully, it's Minmus Station. This is a space station I built quite some time ago, the purpose of which was to support this lander. I think it's probably got a ton of liquid fuel aboard. Oh, I can finally have something that can make use of that. It's got this lander aboard that was going down collecting science from Minmus's surface. There's nobody here. It's been largely abandoned. Still has the booster that brought it up here, or at least the transport vehicle that brought it up here, with some fuel still left over. Actually, there's fuel, I think, up here in the lander too, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So I'm glad this is here, because one of the goals I have is to attach this to an asteroid that is also in orbit about Minmus. But the issue is going to be, well, one, how do I attach it? So I got to bring up some additional parts here, like the claw and stuff like that. Got to kind of figure that out. But also the thing to do is, well, how exactly are we going to get it there? Because Minmus Station is in a polar orbit about Minmus. I like putting my stations in polar orbits because that allows me to, eventually this will go over every biome in Minmus, and we can land in those biomes and help us collect more and more science. But the asteroid, if I can find the right button here, is right here, right? The arm 1, that is our asteroid. And I need to get the arm 1 and this together. The arm 1, I'm pretty sure it does have a why don't we switch to it really quick? Let's just sort of take a look at what's going on over there too. Hello, Kevin Defense Ministries. Excuse me. This is the asteroid in question, C-class asteroid. And yeah, there is a vehicle here, but only has 42 meters per second. So most of the work is going to have to be done by Minmus Station. So let's go back to Minmus Station. What are these guys? Oh, these are mapping satellites. Why is one so... I don't know why. Why is one such an eccentric orbit? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So most of the work is going to have to be done by this thing. So the first question is, does it have enough fuel to get over to that asteroid? So it says here I have 820 meters per second, but I don't think that's right. So let's engage this engine. Yeah, it immediately drops to 100. And the other thing, I'm not sure it's seeing the fuel that's up here. If I go in and in. Oh God, it actually went. Why is the going down? Oh boy, that doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. Okay, this is saying 866, so maybe this is, maybe the 8. Why would it do that? I don't understand. So if I go out and out, this is going down. Clearly that number's not right. And that is that engine. But it looks like this number, 868, is not changing when I do these things. It is not. This 868 being provided by Kerbal Engineer. So I'm not quite sure why this is going down. That is so strange. I'm giving that engine more fuel, yet somehow the delta V calculation is going down. That's a good trick. Well, anyway, I want to put as much fuel as I can down there. I got an idea of maybe how I can maybe get... Is there any other... Is that all the liquid fuel I have on this thing? Or here, oxidizer. There we go. So that's empty, that's empty, that's it's, oh my gosh, this whole lander's 6 Oscar B cans. Okay, I'm pretty okay, that's cool. So what I want to do now is see if I can take a look at perhaps this docking port. Oh wait, what's this? Look at all the fuel in here. Oh my golly. Oh my giddy up. Look at that. Okay, let's steal that. In. Now this actually says 0. That is so strange. Alright, that's cool. And if I go to this one, I got another can. I got lots of fuel cans here. I just want to put all the fuel in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can disable the crossfeed of this docking port, and maybe that will get like, look at the fuel gauge going up here, yet somehow the delta V is 0. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, I think that's going to be all of it. So there's a lot of fuel here. Okay. That makes me feel good. So let's disable, let's see if I can disable the crossfeed. I think I can do that. Yes. Hey, look at that. 900 meters per second. Kerbal Engineer says A68, but at least that's a semi-reasonable number now. Okay, so what we can do is to kind of plot this out is, in order, you can see here I got to make a massive plane change. Now, when I was bringing the asteroid in from outside, I really should have been thinking about it and trying to match planes before I put it in this orbit, but that was unfortunately my own dumbness in that. So now I got to make this big plane change, and I suspect, well, there's 2 ways to do it. Number one is you can find out where, I guess it's going this way, so this is the next node. You find where that ascending node is or the descending node. Got an 83.6 degree plane change. My gosh. And I guess I'm going, it's a ginormous normal correction. Which way do I got to go? It's hard to tell, isn't it? Okay, if I pull on this, does it get bigger or worse? It gets smaller, so this way. So you're going to do about half of this with the normal, and then about half of this with retrograde. It's the way that always ends up working. Okay, where's my, still a big difference here. And then I use a retrograde to bring it. This is for budgeting purposes. Just to see if I have anything, you know, come up with a plan, really. That's all this is about. So you get a rough idea of the delta V costs and what would be the best way to go about doing this. So this is pretty close to matching planes. Everything else is going to be cheap, and that's 213 meters per second. So I was going to say that's one way to do it, to match planes. The other way to do it, if I delete that, but I'm not convinced this is going to be cheaper now, is to put a burn in the same spot, burn this out prograde, so you're way out here someplace. You don't want to actually leave Minmus's SOI. There, we're about a day out now. And then make the plane change up here. And this is the, that's the wrong direction. This is a cheaper way to do it, because this burn way out here is going to be very cheap, but I'm not necessarily convinced that it's going to be cheaper. Oh, I'm very oh, sorry, I just realized I'm very close to it. I almost had it. There it is. That's very close. So that's very close. So now I got a 55 meter per second burn for that first one. The second burn, I got to do a little Pythagoras to combine those two together. 17 and 16, they don't add. 17 squared plus 16 squared, add them together, take the square root. Oh, I don't know. It'll be 20 something. Let's call it 25. So this would be 55 plus 25 is 75, and then it'd be about another 55 to fix things at the other end. It'll be cheaper. to do it this way. But either way, what I've convinced myself of is I have the delta V to do it. Oh, here we go. 24. That was not a bad guess when I said 25. Which TUFX profile do I use? That's a really good question. I think it's just the default one. Oh, no. I think I picked BlackRock's TUF. I honestly can't remember. Oh, what was there before? Uh-oh, I think I just changed it. Okay, it's BlackRock's TUFX now. I think it was default before. Wait, don't save it. Let's look at it again. See if I can do this. No, it's BlackRock's. I think. I don't know. I might have just changed it. Go back over the video evidence. I didn't look what was here. Anyway. Hopefully I didn't mess things up too bad. Okay, that's that. Okay, so I got the DV. That is fine. The other thing I got to look at. Let's unselect our target. And back to here. How are we going to attach this to an asteroid? We got the fuel to get there. That's not going to be the problem. But when we get there, there's only 2 docking ports on this thing. Now, and also this is attached by just a single docking port. So once I detach this, it is not able to reattach. So what I think I need to do is to make this work. Okay, we do have a docking node here. Wow, there's only room for 2 Oh no, they got this cabin down here too. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is design a docking hub right in here. And on one end of that... Oh boy, no. Yeah, I'm going to put a docking hub in here. Probably attach it... Does this thing even have RCS aboard? Oh my gosh. Oh, there are RCS blocks here. 3 of them. Why there are 3 there, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to bring up some RCS blocks. There is plenty of monopropellant. Much more here too, yep. Okay, so I'm going to make a list of what this needs. It's going to need a docking hub. I'll have to make. I'm writing this stuff down. It's going to need some sort of grabber at the end. It's going to need, I would say, is there really only 3 RCS blocks on this whole, like I got 3 that got stowed in here. I'm not sure I can, okay. And 3's just such a weird number. Well, I guess I'll just bring up more. I mean, there's RCS blocks on the lander, but I don't want to mess with the lander. 3, let's get a total of 8. Let's bring up another 5 RCS blocks. And these are probably the big ones. The RV-105s. So I'll write that down. RV-105s. And we'll have to bring up some Kerbals and do some construction. It's going to be some work. It was going to do some work. Oh, Mike gave in quick. It was the default tracking before, was it? Okay. So before it was, I guess, what? Default empty? Oh, oh, now I can see the changing happening there. Zero sort. You know what? I'm just going to save. I don't know. Whatever. It's done. I'm sure the black rack is fine. Hopefully I haven't messed things up. All right. And we got to get some Kerbals up here to do some construction with this. Okay, a plan is taking shape. Now the next thing I want to do, one last thing before we, is I had put a station around Kerbal. Brand new station, went up, I think that was last stream before? Can't remember. Let's switch to that really quick because there's something I think I forgot. Yeah, it was the stream before, and then last stream I put on this beautiful thing, which is going to be this is going to be our transport out to Minmus, but I've yet to have any Kerbals, so we got to bring out some Kerbals. What I'm thinking is I put up all of this fuel for storage purposes, and that's for just refueling this thing so that it doesn't need to ever come back down to the surface. But I believe, and I am pretty convinced of it, I did not put any monopropellant storage on this. So this thing needs monopropellant storage. Write that down. On Kerbal Station. So what we're going to do, here's the whole plan now. Plan is coming together. Is we're going to bring up some monoprop containers. We're going to attach them to the station just to act as storage. Probably 4 of them would do very nicely because the only monoprop on here are 4 of these really little ones. So if we bring 4 of the bigger ones, the Stratus 5, not the Mini 5, but the regular Stratus 5, bring those up, attach them on, bring up the other stuff we need for Minmus Station, load that all onto this, get the Kerbals, get out to Minmus Station, and see if we can not make everything work. That's the plan. All right. So, hey there. Is it Amber? I'm sorry, Isvibin? I can't read the last bit of that. I hope I'm sure I just did a terrible thing there. Okay, let's go to Space Center. Let's see if we can not cobble something together here. So, actually, I'm just thinking what might be the better plan when it comes to getting stuff up the Minmus Station is to simply build some sort of probe contraption-y thing that has everything out and then everything it needs, and then the Kerbals are just going to go to there on their own and meet up with it. That's going to be the plan. Okay, so Minmus Station. I must have that here somewhere, right? Right? Maybe? Kerbal Station? Did I really not? Wow. I never saved a Minmus Station here? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let's switch over to the VAB. I must have somewhere have a Minmus Station. Minmus Station core, Minmus Station fuel module. So I got a couple. Okay, let's get the core first. Okay, so this is the whole vehicle. I don't really care about that, but what I want. There we go. Can delete these fairings. Okay, so there's the core that's there right now. Extend that. Oops, I hit the... That's what I want. Okay, and then up here, there was another one of these containers. All right, now I'm going to switch over to the spaceplane hangar. So the plan here is just to design what we're going to do, but the spaceplane hangar is a nice place to do that all from, though this guy right now is all stuck up in the rafters. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of what's up there right now. I think so. All right. So I'm going to save this as... Actually, I think it's called Thankfully It's Minmus. Is what I changed it to. Okay. So save that. Okay. Go new. Go back here and get that fuel module. Minmus Station fuel module. Wow. That was a thing. Okay, throw that away. Throw that away. This piece is now gone. I can see that. So what we're going to do... This looks very symmetrical. Now I see what happened, why I only have 3 of these RCS blocks. Because there were 3 up here and 3 down here. And I bet you anything I deorbited this with the RCS still on it. That is exactly what happened. Because I'm a doofus. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this, make an action group. Throw that into there. Fuel module. Save. You'll see where I'm going with all this in just a sec. Then we can go back to here. We can grab our fuel module. Oh, wait. Open up. Thankfully, it's Minmus Station. Oh, there's a lander up there, too. Fuel module. Boink. See, I'm just trying to recreate what that station currently looks like. That's that. And then finally, there is a lander there, so we'll do that too. So again, new. Back to here. Open up. I have no idea what I called it. Probably didn't call it Minmus Lander because I was in all of this silly... I was in a mode where I was like giving everything technical sounding names. Oh wait, I would have saw Min crude lander, 2-person crude lander. Ha ha ha. There's a meaning behind it. It's coming back to me. There is no way that's what's there. Nope, that's not what's there. Okay, open up. MI Crude Lander 3? Could that be it? The Cantaris? Oh, that looks like it. That looks like it. Ah, I like that lander. Okay, and then we're going to bring that over too. So I just need to get that. Make that the root part. That will be so that when I go over to subassemblies here, that this is now a node that I just pulled off because that's what I'm going to attach it to. This is a Minmus lander. Save. No. Don't save that. Switch. It's all coming together. Okay, and now I can get that Minmus lander. Cancel. Why do I not... What? Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Was it just me or did it like disappear there for a second? Okay, there we go. So that's the state of Minmus Station. Oh! Okay, there you are. That's the state of Minmus Station as we speak right now. So we're saving that. So what I want to do, I want to get a docking hub into here. We'll have to bring up some Kerbals to yeah, other stuff's going to have to happen. But that's the main thing I'm looking at. Let's make this here the root part. Nice. Okay. Pull that off. Let's construct a docking hub that's going to work in there. So first thing we need is a docking port. And then I'm going to put one of those structural fuselages and another docking port at the end. Like first build, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna get it there. There. Okay, so that's gonna go between. All right. When in doubt, add more boosters. Yep. Okay, so, and now we're going to make this into sort of a hub that various things can attach to. And probably I'll end up bringing the lander around to here. Actually, that lander probably has a probe core in it somewhere, maybe, if I'm lucky. Or did I forget to put a probe core in it? That does sound like something I would do. I don't see anywhere where it might have been. Oh, look at that. Ha 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 ha. There is a probe core in there. Okay, good. So we can fly autonomously. So get back to here. Another structural fuselage. That can go on the top. Then we turn it, not that way. Oh boy. Should have just left well enough alone. Snap on. There we go. Rotate it. 90 degrees. Snap off. And slide that inside. Boy, is it the lights? I'm trying to see the lines on the... I think that's largely centered. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's so bright up here. Oh, wait. Can I turn these off? That might be what's going on. Oh, it's just bright. Might need to come down. Yeah, it needs to come down just a little bit more. Now, I'm just looking at this and thinking, this is tight in here for a ship to get in. So I'm going to put another one of these on this end and then another one on that end. And then I'm going to put docking ports on the end. This is going to be a fun thing to take up. There. And there. Okay. That's all cool. And do I want to put... I think I do. I'm going to put another pair of docking ports vertical. Snap on. That guy goes there again. Turn that 90 degrees this way this time. Slide her in. And the reason why I was doing all that work, by the way, if you didn't figure out why I'm in the spaceplane hangars, because it's so much easier to navigate along the length of this thing here and build it all here than it is to, I think that's pretty good, to do this in the VAB. So that's why I was a little surprised I didn't already have this thing here. Okay, docking port there. Docking port there. So there's my docking hub. Okay. Oh, save my docking hub as a subassembly and I don't have to build it all the time. You're smarter than I am. I get so much things about people saying the I've never had the Kraken attack this. Now, I do get people that say if you're playing with that, what's the mod that allows you to move around inside, the free IVA mod? This messes that all up. I do concur with that, but I like it. I like it. It's good. It fits in too with the color scheme and everything else. All right, so that is that. Now, the other thing I wrote to myself is... docking hub needs to have a grabber. Now, the grabber, I'll probably end up moving this to here. And then just attaching the grabber on the end. I was thinking I could put it on there... I was thinking of building another little docking node and docking it on here, but you know what? I think the best plan is to come up with some engineers and just use... Yeah, so I think this is going to be fine. I think that's all I need to bring. I got to put some equipment around it. Okay, let's put some lights on it. Lights. There we go. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's the way that symmetry works. What if I went to the radial symmetry? Where does that... Whoops. Why is it... Why are you being that way? No matter what, it goes over... That's so weird. Okay, I'm going to have to put them on just one at a time. There we go. Try it one more time with the two-way symmetry. Nope. Okay. It's going to be that way. So that's going to go here. I'm going to make... Let me think. We're coming in. Red on the right, returning. So this one's going to be a green one. And we'll make it blink very slowly. And clearly, its exterior color needs to be white. So like that. Okay. So that's going to be a green one. This is going to be a green one. Thinking of just where I want to put green ones. If I'm coming in here on the top, of course, this is now become irrelevant because I could be this way or I could be this way. But now that I'm this way, I'm going to make that one the green one. And on the bottom here, I'm going to make this one the green one. And then we're going to copy that. Put one there. That one's going to be the red one. And then we're going to copy. So we got some red blinky lights around. I'm not convinced it really needs anything else for blinky lights. Other than these ones around the docking ports. Because it's got these lights already there. Those are some lights there for lighting up that. We got lights on this side too. I think that's pretty good. That's going to be bright. Really want to put the grabber on the end and attach a giant chopstick to the asteroid. Yeah, I'm going to send up struts. Oh, note to self. Struts, lots of struts. Wrote that down because we're going to need them up there. Lots of struts. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to save this. We're going to make perhaps this docking port the root part. We're going to take that off. We're going to take this off. And then we're going to switch over to the vehicle assembly building. Okay. Put this vertical, and we're going to put together the whole rest of this thing. So, some RCS blocks. I might just, yeah. It'll need a vehicle and a docky doobie, the grabber. And a bunch of struts. So I'm gonna build a vehicle to go under this, and I'm gonna not be so dumb as I just did. I noticed on my previous one. I'm gonna actually put a docking port on this vehicle so that it can undock, redock, do all of that stuff that you would want it to be able to do. There, that looks nice. We're gonna put a 1.875 meter fairing. That should work, right? You know what I'm gonna do? Sorry. Delete. Take that off. That comes off. Put one of those smaller ones there. Just like, no, even more intelligent is, come on, 1.25 meter service bay goes there. And then we can stick a probe core and stuff. That will go up. Build that later. Probe core goes in there. Octo 2 probe core. I am so far off from the center. Let's see. Make that the root part. Let's see if I can drag this whole thing this way. There we go. So I'm more in the center. Still not in the center. Here. I guess that'll do. Something like that. Okay. There. Some electricity. It's not gonna need much. Let's just put in a couple of these Z200s. So gonna, no, okay. I'll put in a couple of these ones. Like 4 of those, and a Communitron. 4. And it only needs 1 of those. That's the batteries. I wanted to hit the Communitron. Come on. Oh, frickety frack. Come on. Just want to put it on a bit of an angle so when I extend it, it'll come out, but when it's retracted, these doors will close without a problem. Boink, boink. There we go. Might want to consider adding a couple of cargo pods. Oh yeah, cargo pods are going on this thing. Yep. Oh, you mean on the hub itself? I think I got a lot of storage, but I am going to need to bring crap up, so I'll probably put cargo pod, like a cargo thing, under this. Now, I don't know if I need to. Here, let's get one thing at a time. Cargo, 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 cargo. This is. I don't think I have a 1.875 meter cargo container. So, oh, that's too big. That's just right. Just bringing that diameter down so I can grab this cargo container. How big is it? Not that big. Lots of struts, because we will need them. I'm thinking like 8. Now, can I put the grabber in here? I probably can't. Yeah, it's a construction part only, so the grabber has to stick somewhere. I could just put it there for now. That's nice and kind of tucked out of the way. That'll work. And what else did I write? Grabber, RCS. I think RCS will go on the actual vehicle itself. So let's start thinking about a pusher. Can I get away with a Terrier? So DV budget. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can. DV budget for this guy. I gotta start adding up some numbers, so just give me a moment. It's got to get itself to Minmus. That's 900. I don't have this in a convenient spot written down. Let me put this in a more convenient spot. I'm moving around. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So 930 meters per second to get to Minmus. 930 plus 150 for the Minmus capture. So that's 1,080. Probably a 200 for shenanigans around Minmus, which is way generous. It's not going to be as much as that. So I'm at 1,280. And then I wanted to do the top part of the orbital insertion. So that's going to be 2,280. And my problem is I'm adding in my head and writing with my calculator and typing what's in my head. Okay, 2,280. So I'm looking at about 2,300 meters per second. Jesus greasies, this is pretty good just right here. I've yet to put any monoprop on this, because it is going to have to do some docking. I'm thinking just a couple of these guys. Just kind of stick them in a little bit so they'll tuck under the fairing. Good. And RCS. Okay, let's think about where there's the center of mass. Okay, so that's not terrible. How heavy is this? It's only 6 tons. It's not super heavy. What did I write for my RV105? I better best just use these. And then I can just repurpose these ones after I'm done with them. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Stick them there. That looks awful, but because they're on kind of like the doors, but whatever. Got RCS Build Aid installed, so that'll help. This shows me where the dry center mass is. You can see that it moves up as this fuel gets drained, but that's not surprising. But it will help me with the balancing here. And I'll have an engineer rip these off. So if I use the dry center of mass right around there, is pretty freaking balanced. I should hide some reaction wheels in here too. In fact, let's do that right now. That comes off. Reaction wheels under here. Okay. Don't worry about that. So that is pretty balanced for the dry center of mass, but if I switch it to the wet center of mass with all the fuel in it, now it's off balance. This, oh, way down here, that's about balanced for the wet. So I'm going to split the difference and put these about here. Put them right on the lines there. I like it like that. I don't like these, the way, you know, when, like, if I tried to thrust to one side, it's going to use a combination of both of them. It's much better to do that. That's what we'll do. That'll be fine. And solar panels. Yep, I agree with solar panels. Also going to sneak in some struts. Always when I have things connected just by a docking port, I always strut up that connection because docking ports are flimsy. And what were we talking about? Solar panels. So some solar panels. You know what I'm going to do is shoot. Minmus Station, I noticed, just had the OXSATs. I wouldn't mind bringing up some of these guys, these 1x6s. But I'm debating. Here's what I'm going to do. How's my storage situation here? Let's bring up a couple of these. Actually, wait a second. I got better. Look at I got these beautiful things. Look at this. Okay, they cost a bit of money, but look at I love like these guys. Why not use these? Extend. Look at that. Why not use those? Those generate 8.3 electric charge per second. I'm thinking of potentially at some point I might have a lab up here. And the lab, when you're using it for lab things, takes, I'm just gonna stick him in here. There we go. Uses 5. You are poopy. Won't fit. Too big. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stick them on the side, and we'll get an engineer to move. You don't need the cargo containers because you can just get in. If you have an engineer, you can get them to move things wherever you want. Okay, does that have everything I need? I think it does. And I like the TWR. I like this Delta V. I think that's pretty good. Oh, Gil's here. And IC's here. Don't forget to turn off the roll, pitch, and yaw on the RCS blocks. Gee, I've never done that before. Yaw, pitch, and roll. It's so much easier to do it here because now all of them got turned off in that symmetry group, and then the same thing here. Saves me on the monoprop. Beautiful. Okay, that is good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I think I'm pretty happy with this. So let's build the fairing. Yep. Why is it being awkward? I don't know. Around here, up to here. Bring in a bit. Close. There we go. Okay, 4 sides. Up the force. Clamshell deploy because it looks better. Always have to put this on a shiny mode or else for whatever reason it comes out black, which annoys me. Let's go orange. Shiny orange. In fact, so that's going to make all this stuff. Oh, look at how stripy that is. That, unfortunately, I don't think... No. I'll leave that alone. I like that for him. Okay, there we go. And this should actually be here. And, again, wildly different DV calculation. Very strange. Okay. Gosh, why is that 509? Oh my god, like this guy is, I'm almost feeling like this is not taking into account the root parts here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why there's such a radical difference in DV and thrust to weight ratio, and what I'm worried about. I can easily find out. What I'm worried about is that McJeb is not taking into account the weight of this whole frickin' payload. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off and see if it changes anything. They're still radically different. What on earth? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Put that back. I'm seeing the word Atmo. I don't know. What is one on? Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. That's a rookie mistake right there. Atmo. Alright. Let's build ourselves a booster. So we need to add on about another, again, I'm just doing this in calculator mode, about another 2,600 meters per second to this total to get a total about 4880, 49.5 would be. Lovely number. 5 kilometers per second. Nice, lovely number to go for. Now I think I got to go bigger again. This is going to have a very narrow waist. I don't know if that's a deal for people, but that's what I'm thinking about. I think I can stick to the 8.75 meter size. Maybe you. And then what do we got for motors down here? We got the Bobcat. Bobcat ain't got enough push-ems. I don't think there's enough fuel there either. I do have... Isn't there a Kodiak? What's the Bobcat push? Oh, Bobcat's bigger than the Kodiak is. Okay, so I might go bigger. There's the Cheetah. Is the Bobcat the most powerful 1.875 meter motor? It must be. Okay. Alright, we're good. So I'm going to go bigger. We're going to go bigger. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go bigger. Is it this one? No. There's one that goes... There, look at that. That's lovely. And then we'll go to 2.5. Get on the ever-reliable Jumbo 64. Stick a mainsail under it. Get away with that. That is more than enough oomph, that's for sure. Don't need the mainsail. I don't even think I need a tank as big as that. We'll go smaller tank, and we'll go to the skipper motor. That's pretty good. I like it. I can even go a little smaller still. That's kind of blowing me away that I can go as small as I am, but it's not as heavy a payload as I think it is. So that 5,000. Lovely launch TWR. And what I always seem to do, this seems to happen a lot where I have 3 of these cans, and so I just always make this checkerboard, because why wouldn't you make a checkerboard if you can make a checkerboard? Like that. There. I think I'm quite happy with that. The Kodiak is the right motor? I don't know for which... Oh, you don't know what purpose the Kodiak has. I know, it looks so good too, but it's... Yeah, it is lighter. It's somewhere between... I don't know. I don't know. But it looks good, and... I'm kind of curious why it's there. Oh, now I'm less happy than I was with it when I scrolled back. This just looks like it's gonna break in the middle. I mean, if I'm worried about it, I could do this kind of thing. Like just more struts. More struts. Some bitty air fins. I think I might throw some more. Wait a minute. I got pretty decent I might try it without putting in additional reaction wheels. Turn down the thrust limiter here. That's pretty good. Launch clamps. All right. It looks like a bowling pin. I know. It is rather dopey looking. It does look like a bowling pin. Might add a little bit more fuel. Just noticing I just dipped to 4,900. Keeping it at like 5,000 I think is not a bad plan. Oh, come on, one more then. There we go. Now, of course, I do have to up this up a bit. Beautiful. Now we're well over 5,000. So as long as this thing flies without flipping upside down, I think it's going to be good. Okay, let's get into action groups. Now I'm getting the weird thing that if I click on a part, all of a sudden I got full action group, so I'm going to take advantage of that. We're going to deploy the fairing on 5, on 0 we're going to open up the doors, toggle the antenna. There's a very good chance that antenna won't toggle because it'll happen at the same time the doors, and we will deploy these solar panels. Okay. And then what I like to do is move that up to there and take this right out of the staging group. Okay, I think I am going to do a simulation of this because I'm more dubious than I usually am about what this is going to be like. I'm trying to think. I got my list. I got a docking hub, I got the grabber, I got those RCS blocks, and I got struts. I think I got everything I need. So let's... Oh, this is still called, thankfully, it's Minmus Station that I just oversaved, I think. This is a Minmus Station docking hub. Etc. Plus more. Okay, we're going to do the simulation thing. Yeah, I know it's a little bit goofy here. I'm seeing stay at 2.5 all the way down, and I think you probably have a good point. The only reason I went down... Well, then again, there is a 2.5 meter storage compartment, and then I could put the solar panels. That's probably really smart. Well, let's see what this does. Let's see what it does. But you're right. If I stayed 2.5 all the way down, probably would have been fine. But let's see what happens. So up, it's the wobbling that I'm going to be concerned with more than anything. And potentially the drag is too high up top. But I'm not as worried about that as I am of the wobbling doesn't seem to be too bad. We are going to go into a 6-degree inclined orbit when I do this thing. So I'm going to head for a heading of like 83 degrees. It's funny, you build this stuff and you think like, oh, this is going to be crap. And then it flies. It's fine. We'll let it go at least until max Q or something. Maybe, you know what, we'll try it. We'll go for an orbit. Just to convince myself that, you know, there's not something funky happening. But honestly, it's pretty gosh darn good. I cannot complain. All right. Start reducing throttle a little bit. I'm not sure if I will be staging here or staging the fairing first. That's why I like to take the fairing out of the staging diagram. So I can stage it when I want to, not for when it happens to be in there. I got a feeling I'm going to be going on this little motor here, the Terrier, first. Which may or may not be a problem. It might be too little thrust. I don't know. Ladder rungs to the cargo so that an engineer can... You're 100% right. Maybe not even but the little ladder rungs are great. I'm going to do that. Thank you. Thank you. I see. Yes. I am 100% going to put those in there. They're great. You can have an engineer carry, attach them, and then the engineer hangs onto them. Where's my attitude? Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. No, actually, I think I'm going to lose the fairing before I go to the Terrier. Which is great. Oh, I want to be on surface. Because I want to get this inclination. Oh, it is on 6 degrees. Then I go to orbit. But it is on 6 degrees, so fine. There we go. Where are we at? Where are we at? Fairing. Fairing. 5. Bonk. There we go. We got lights. Not a lot of lights, but some lights. I missed a light. How did I miss some lights? They've got lights there, lights there. I don't have lights on these 2 ports. Oh, but that's because those are going to be connected to either side. Yes. Oh, that makes perfect sense. I'm almost at 80 kilometers, so I'm fine. No worry. Let's end the simulation. How do I end? Oh, it's just this. Yeah. Terminate simulation. It's fine. Okay, so yes, little ladder rungs. Stuff that's a really good idea that I think I just always tend to forget. Now I think they're under utility, are they not? They are, right here. So let's open up this cargo container. Let's put in a few of them. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Is that crazy how much, like, is that just me? Or, like, look how much that... Okay, why is the DV now... Oh, I know why. Never mind. I do know why the DV suddenly changed so much. The DV changed so much because I moved the fairing up to the top of the staging diagram, so it's the DV as if I'm carrying this ginormous fairing with me all the time, so it can safely be ignored. Okay, this is good. This is good. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else, so I think I'm ready to launch and head to Minmus. So let's do it. And then we'll think about getting some Kerbals up to that station. I got the Kerbal station. They got some stuff to do. And then bring all of it together. That's going to be the plan. All right, so from here, I can actually select celestial bodies in Minmus. I don't have to go find it. And what I love about Kerbal Engineer here is it is telling me I'm an hour and 10 minutes from the ascending node. Now, I like to just make sure I pass the sanity check on that by actually scrolling out, going this way. You know, when the orbits are edge on, that's where the ascending and descending node are. I can see it's an ascending node because as we go from left to right here, we're going up. And that's an hour and 10 minutes away. Makes perfect sense to me. So we're going to time warp to our launch. A little faster. A little faster still. I'm paranoid about time warping past things. Oh, this is going to be a night launch. I hope people are cool with that. Actually, I'm not too cool with that. So what? Well, I don't know now. It might be a sun. Hold on. It's going to be a sunset launch. I like that idea. Okay, there's Minmus right above us. Now, that's neither here nor there. SAS on. I don't have to wait to the exact second for this. And it's ascending node, so I got to go to the north. So that is subtracting 6 degrees from the 90. Let's do this. So Z and off we go. Off we go with our little supply module on its way to Minmus Station. And if at this point I'd forgotten anything, it's too late to do anything about it. Okay, lock that on. Want a heading of about 83 degrees. Let that settle in. Got a lovely sunset behind us. So we'll be losing the sun as we ascend, which is fine. Okay, let's keep track of where our time to apoapsis is. Okay, the rate at which we're pitching over is fine. I'm just keeping it locked to prograde at this point. And I want to keep an eye on inclination. When it gets to 6 degrees, you lock to the orbit, and then it'll stay at 6 degrees. Oh, reduce throttle. Okay. And 5.5 degrees. 5.7 degrees, 5.8 degrees. Looking at inclination here. 5.9. 6 degrees. Lock that onto the orbit. Just went to orbit by itself. It was on target there for a second. Okay, a little more thrust because I'm noticing this time went down a bit. Okie dokie. And yeah, just gotta keep cruising like this. So it should stay on 6 degrees as long as this is on the orbit vector, or orbit relative to the orbit, not the surface. Okay, that is 50 kilometers. So fairing deploy. Oh, got a little bit more action coming from the lights. You can see them a little better because it's a little darker. I do have an alarm here for an A-class asteroid because I did pick up for some dumb reason to capture a contract to capture that one around Kerbal. And not sure what I'm going to do with it. Man, I'm getting a lot out of this stage. This thing is overbuilt. What else is new? I don't know if I'm going to get to an apoapsis of 80 kilometers or run out of fuel on this stage first. I'm getting to 80 kilometers first. So that is 80 kilometers, and we just got into space. Oh, whoa, this was open. What was that? That was open the whole way up. Oops. Oopsie doodle. We're gonna... I'm sure the TWR here is outrageous, so what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna turn down that thrust limiter. So it has a TWR that's similar to what the next stage is gonna be. Alright. There she is. Should still be 6 degrees here, right? Oh, yeah. So the dumbbell flew, or not the dumbbell, the bowling pin flew. That's okay. So the sun sets behind us. Here, time warp a little. Don't have much velocity to add on here. Maybe a couple of hundred more meters per second. We'll lose this stage. It will still fall back to Kerbal, which is always what you kind of want. Okay. A little bit of burn. More. Oh, that's it. Onto the Terrier. Maybe pitch up just a bit. I let myself get a little too close, so I'm going to pitch up. A little close to apoapsis, that is. There we go. Not quite there yet. I just cut throttle because I noticed. Come on. Just do this thing. There we are. All right, so there she is. Still got 1,765 meters per second left, which is plenty. Let us get ourselves to Minmus, which is over there. What is our relative 0.1 degree relative inclination with Minmus's orbit? That'll make this part of this a lot easier. I see the moon. The moon is going to... Well... Okay, I got the moon and then I got Minmus. I was about to hop ahead orbits to avoid the moon, but... why not investigate this? So I got 918 kilometers, so I'm not hitting the moon there. What's happening at Minmus's end? Trying to hit that in focus. There we go. It's not chucking it up super... I don't know. I'm kind of... There. Let's play a little bit with the timing on this maneuver. Whoa, that made a huge difference. Okay, so we're coming under there a little bit. I don't mind that. Might be kind of fun. Come right under it. Now our target is going to be... Which one? That one. Is going to be the station here. And you can do a couple of different things with this. Like, you can see that there's a plane difference. One is... Excuse me, I had that sneeze suddenly. One is you can launch later. just start popping ahead orbits, and then this angle will change on you until you're actually getting to Minmus at the same time, timing your entry into Minmus so that you enter in the same plane as your target polar orbit. But with Minmus, it takes a long time. Like, what's Minmus's orbital period? It's like 26 days, so it's kind of a pain. And changing planes in Minmus is actually not expensive. So I'm thinking I might just go with this. So we're going to get a moon assist. Let's just make sure 100% that I am just I am missing the moon. Yeah, 791 kilometers. So, yeah. Yeah, we're getting a boost in the right direction. Usually I see that thing with the moon and I go, oh, moon, you're such a pain. And then I hop ahead orbits until I'm missing the moon. But now, getting a teeny tiny moon assist. It's under 900, but 895 meters per second for the burn. So a little less than what it normally is. Can't complain about that. All right, so 22 seconds or 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And then once I perform this burn, we'll get back to the surface and we'll look at getting some Kerbals up to the station and get them heading towards Minmus as well. Oh, we're going to have a lot of stuff rendezvousing on Minmus. And I can see already this is going to, I don't know, we'll see how far we get with this whole process. It's going to be a process. Yeah, I'll definitely need to do a little mid-course correction, probably after the moon encounter, I think. But it's kind of fun doing the little moon assist, even though it's not really doing a whole lot. But... all right. Now, am I seeing? Not sure I'm going to see a trajectory at this end with the moon being... oh, you know what I should do? Focus on the moon. Stop for a second. And look at this trajectory. That's the one I'm aiming for. Okay. Oh, I'm higher. What's happening out at Minmus with that? Oh, I'm going... look at this. I got so many... I got to turn down the number of conics. I'm hitting that, doing that. Going to Minmus, then coming back, hitting the moon again. There's a lot going on. Oh. Oh, wait. That's just my predicted one. Oh, okay. What if I delete the maneuver? That ain't good enough. Okay. I'll have to... I wasn't looking at the burn, which I probably should have been. Okay, it's predicting it out here anyway. I was worried it wasn't going to give me this prediction out here. Because it's like a couple of SOIs in the future. Oh. Alright, that's fine. So I think probably the best plan would be some sort of correction burn out here. That would bring up, so that would be normal, obviously. But it's going to be teensy weensy. Teensy weensy little correction burn. I just want to touch the orbit there, even though it's not at the... Which way am I? I'm coming that way. Station's going that way. When I'm down here, the station's coming this way and we're going this way. So that's a big difference. Okay. No. I think that's okay. We'll just do that. All right. So in the meantime, though, this thing is on its way to the moon first. So I'm going to just set an alarm for that moon encounter. Let's get rid of Kerbal engineer words that are in the way. For that SOI change, give me like 5 minutes warning on it. And this is for the Minmus hub. All right, so that's coming up in just a few hours. But in the meantime, we can get our watch the direction. Okay. Yeah, I was planning on doing a mid-course correction. And well, am I going the wrong way from... Oh my gosh, you're right. This is the huge plane change. Thank you. I haven't deleted the node yet. It's not too late. It's not too late. I should be coming up this way. A little bit more on the correction, but that's not a big deal. No. Oliver, is it Oliver who pointed that out? Yeah. I was looking at the direction and just not cluing in, but we're coming this way. It's going this way, so there's our inclination difference. We want that to be as small as possible. Actually, what I can do is just set that as a target, and it'll tell you what the inclination difference. You want that to be less than 90, and it's 56. That's better. That's better. We'll tweak this for sure anyway. Okay, it's good enough. Okay, that. Back to the Space Center. So, let's, if I warp to sunrise, I don't want to launch at night. But that might just get my moon encounter. Yep, it does. Okay. Sun's, ooh, look at those reds. Oh! Red, oh my gosh! Well, I'm going to admire that for a little while. That was exciting. I was about to say, red sky at dawn, sailors be warned, and yeah, okay. I hope that's not, I'm not going to take that as an omen. Alright, so we're at the vessel here. Delete close. Okay. So, while I was timing to sunrise... we ended up getting close to entering into the moon's SOI, so want to deal with that. Okay, so how long until we're out of the moon's SOI? And an hour and 46 minutes. Okay, fine. We can now do our launch. So there we go. Let's set another alarm. I don't know why, I just don't trust the game. And I always like to be with a vessel when there are SOI changes. I don't trust the... I don't know... I don't think I have evidence to say that it'll screw it up, but I just want to be there. So we got an SOI change coming in... right? Alarm? Yeah, that's right. Back to Space Center again. Moon look like the Death Star. Does it? I guess. Yeah. You got the crater right there. I'll buy that. Okay. Space Hitter. Back to our Red Dawn. Ooh, look at that. I think the thunderstorm has moved on, though. Very cool. Okay, we're going to launch right into that. So, what I've got to get crew into low orbit is I do have the... Let me get this right. Is it the Valkyrie? Is that right? It's been a few streams. That looks like it. So this is an SSTO capable of getting Kerbals to low orbit. So the purpose of this is just to get up to the station and back. That's it. And if you recall, I said I wanted to bring up some monopropellant. So I do want to keep an eye on the DV because I'm worried. Can I stick monopropellant cans into here? No, that's already too big. So if I start, I'm worried about messing up the aerodynamics of this thing by doing this. But I might just, so if I put this on, it knocks off a little bit. I want to put 4 of them. I mean, the alternative, and maybe it's not a bad idea. Yeah, I don't think I should do that. I think that's going to be bad. So, yeah. So what I'll do is we'll build a little probe dude. This is going to be teeny weeny little probe dude, whose job is just to get those monopropellant cans up to Kerbal Station. So we'll start with an Octo probe core. And this is all as a result of a simple oversight on my part, where I forgot to put monopropellant storage, because I got to replenish their monopropellant too. So reaction wheels. This is going to be little. I think that'll be enough. A little bit of electricity. Maybe a couple of these guys. An antenna. Which one? I want Computertron. It doesn't need an antenna even, actually, now I'm thinking about it, but we'll put one on. Docking port on the top. Now I got... What is this going to look like? Yeah, I don't like that. So I'm going to just put a little tube in there. A little structural tube. Here they are. This guy. I think that's the smallest one it is. So that can go on there. And then we just need the teeniest. This is not going to be a very big thing at all. Oh, and it's got to carry the monoprop, of course. We'll put them all around the outside. And we'll get an engineer to hook them on. Monoprop cans. So I was thinking 4 of these. Like so. And gosh, like a spark, maybe? Oh, 1368. With plenty of thrust, so I think that is going to be fine. So I'm going to put an engine plate on here too, because it'll probably be at just 1.25 on the other side. So where are we? Why am I having trouble finding engine plates? There we go. That goes there. Put that on that mode. Yep. Also going to need a little bit of RCS. Where am I going to put them? Okay. I know what I'm going to do. Grab that. Put them that way. I'm very close to the center of mass, if you notice that. And this is a very light thing. So I kind of tuck those up a little bit so that the... very close to where the center of mass is. I can probably get away with just putting a small... these guys right here, like that. Very low torque. I think it'll be fine. Just like that. I like it. I like it. So that's my little dude. Why not use a second on your station hoppers to bring the RCS to the station? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're suggesting, Oliver. Why not use a second? Like a second what? On your station hoppers. Yeah, this is going to bring up the RCS for the station. That's the whole plan. So all I got to do now is get it up there. I might be misunderstanding what it is you're suggesting, which is probably a good, it's probably, you're suggesting probably a good thing. Because I'm very good at sort of misinterpreting ideas. Oh, why? Oh, where's the, oh, it's way down there. There we go. That's no good. Short. Perfect. All right, and we're gonna just brute force this thing up. Let's put a swivel on the bottom. I'm not gonna worry about. There we go. 37. Maybe a little smidge more fuel. 30. That'll be plenty. And just gonna sneak a nose cone on the top that I'm just going to just undo when the time is right. This is the whole thing. Close. We'll put a few solar panels on there just for, just to do it. This for suggestion of aerodynamic stability, and that's it. That's the whole. Whoops. Launch clamps. There. One of the runabouts. That feels overkillish. I'm just doing this. I'm pushing this guy up. Do I want to put on a little bit more fuel? Maybe. Talking to myself too. It's the one thing I just like. Stop always like cutting everything so fine and just put on another fuel can. It's not gonna hurt anything. Okay. Because this has got to be draggy up here at the top, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just pushing it. I'm not even saving this. Not even saving it. We're just gonna go. Oh, take it to Minmus. Okay. Use the roundabouts, but then I gotta launch another roundabout, like a runabout. I don't know if I want to launch another runabout. I think I know what you mean. Oh my gosh, that sky. I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm committed now anyway. Committed in more ways than one. Okay. Go back to type selection, stations, new Kerbal station. There we go. And whereabouts is Kerbal station? It is over there. So we're going to time warp. As the sun comes up, we're probably going to lose that gorgeous red sky. What are you going to do? That still looks pretty good. Especially over there. That looks great. Okay. SAS on. Throttle up. And I always like to wait. I did wait for the target to get the end of the wing on the bird icon here. I don't know why. Okay, and go, and go. Oh, I never turned down the TWR on that. That's for sure. Let's lower the thrust a bit. Not that that's a big deal. Need more speed than that. That feels good. Okay, lock that on prograde. More speed. Okay, coming up through the clouds. I just took it off of lock to prograde because I just kind of noticed I was falling over a little bit too quickly. Maybe lock it back to prograde again. Okay, where's my... There. That feels good. Alright, all those clouds are behind us now. Okay, reducing throttle. Okay. No, I think... Oh, have another runabout up towards... So I'd have two of them and one... Yeah, but I'm going to use it to shuttle back and forth. I guess it would... I probably will eventually put up two. Quite often I do. Because I have crews going between... Oh, wait. I'm about to lose this stage. You know, you have crews going to Minmus, and then you have crews going to the moon. I'm not really paying much attention to this. This was such a slapped together thing. On the mighty little spark engine. Nope, that's true. My time to apoapsis is starting to go down, so I just gave a little bit more thrust here. There. And I'll use a little bit of this monoprop when I dock, but that's okay. I won't use much. You know what I didn't do? I didn't do the... I'll do it next, but the actuation toggles on those have not been adjusted. Alright, we be in space. Like this, go... Yup. Pitch and roll come off. Okay, that is 80 on the apoapsis. Toggle these all off while we're waiting to get there. I'm not convinced I have the DV to get up. I don't think I'm going to make it. I think this little fella is gonna die. Because I'm only at 17.9 kilometer, or 1,790-ish kilometers per second. I only have 319 meters per second left of DV. What the heck? I think the drag just killed me on this stupid little thing. Ah! We're not gonna make it. We're not going to make it. Well, I could have lost the docking port while I was at it. It's not going to make it anyway. And I let myself get past the apoapsis. I should have undocked this. Push that away. Now it's stuck to it. It's not going to do that. And I'm out, and it's going to crash. And we are just going to pretend that never happened. Put an RCS blocks inside a second service bay. There's a thought. Yeah, I thought I could get away with being cute. And instead, I just sent a little probe to its doom. To its doom. Alright, let's try. That's a good idea with the second service bay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I open that up. There's not enough room in that guy, no. So, I like the idea. Second service bay. Open that up. You can put a little bitty strut, like an octagonal strut in there, just to give them something to be attached to. Whoops. Want 4 of them. Give me my RCS blocks back. Tuck them in, because I do think the drag kind of did a number on me there. This up here is draggy too. I know it's draggy when you stick a nose cone on like that. Oh, I know what I could do too. For goodness sakes, I have that fella. That's probably better right there. Okay. Now, that comes off. RCS Build Aid. Gonna do the same trick. Of putting these, now I know those are on the doors, but I'm gonna not care. Or you know what? Maybe better. Nah. Let's care. Let's care. We should care. And the other way to balance all this, here, let's actually do the actuation toggle thing. If you're having trouble like getting it to balance right now by just moving them around, the other option is you can see here, this wants to torque towards the right on the top. I guess that's clockwise. So that means that we have too much thrust up here, strictly speaking, too much torque. One way to adjust that is simply to reduce the amount of thrust up there, and I can just bring that torque right down. Why on... Oh no, I guess that makes some sense. There, the torque's now at 0. These are at 50%. Wow. Okay. So you don't have to move them. That'll work too. Alright, I'm happy with that. Actually, I probably should look at the dry center mass now I'm thinking about it, because this will be almost empty when we're up there. There. Beautiful. Okay. That can go away, that can go away, this can go back. Okay, how much DV now? 37. Let's... Didn't I put... Hang on. Did I lose a can somewhere? Because I thought... Oh, there's the can. Yeah, I'm going to take that guy out. And we'll put in this guy. $4,000 meters per second. That is going to be plenty. How on earth I'm not going to get there with that, I don't know. Save. Launch. Round number 2. Yeah, I wouldn't have been so lackadaisical if there were Kerbals involved. Also, I wouldn't have been that lackadaisical if it wasn't. I didn't look at the price, but I know this shouldn't be an expensive rocket. If it is an expensive rocket, then I kind of have egg on my face about that. But Shouldn't be expensive. Okay, new Kerbal Station. So we just missed one launch window, so that means we got to go let it come around. All right. Find the best view of the sky that we got. We got some dark, rainy sky. Oh, more lightning. There are more thunderstorms around the KSC than anywhere I've ever known of. All right. Much, much more sane. Half the thing I think too with people ask me about reducing, like, how, you know, why bother with reducing the thrust to weight ratio? I honestly think the biggest thing is simply having it so that all your rockets kind of feel very similar to each other when they fly. Like, it threw me off immediately when that previous one just had a really high thrust to weight ratio at the bottom. And now, you know, even though, you know, earlier today we flew up that hub, very different rocket than this one, but they feel kind of the same to me because I adjust those things like the TWR. Whoa, don't you even think about flipping over backwards. There we go. See our thunderhead down there. Did I turn off the actuation toggles on this top guy? Yep, I did. I'm surprised with myself. I remember doing them for the bottom ones. I don't remember doing them for the top ones, but I obviously did them for all of them. Usually I get distracted midway through a task and forget to do the second half of it. Not this time. Okay. Alright, this one's gonna make it. This one's gonna be good. Not the chaos of the previous one. Oh. On to the spark. You know what? I'm gonna pitch up a little bit. I feel a little low. When you have little upper stages like this is probably just, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of a bad design idea. But they can really screw you over because there is, you know, so much drag. I should just push it. I should just push it to 80. That's probably what the trouble I was having with. You know, they can have so much drag on them. Just try and get up and out as quick as I can. Not that they have a lot of drag, but the drag to the mass is so much higher. Little rockets can screw you over, I think, more than big rockets do. So I'm just going to try and push it and get out of the atmosphere as quick as I can. Yeah, it's going to be tight on fuel again. What is going on? Not just tight, as in... Wow. Well, we'll see. It is going to be tight. It's surprising. Little rockets, I tell you. But yeah, 115 meters per second here. Now this time I have a lot more orbital velocity, so... might be okay. Can even use a little bit of that monoprop to propel it if I really wanted to. That's crazy. It was over 4,000 in the VAB. I thought, easy peasy. Yeah, the thing is here, being asked about the Spark's atmospheric performance, and I'll get to that. Once you're above, I got a minute. Once you're above about 10 kilometers or so, you're pretty much, like if you go into the VAB, and you know how you have, there's the, if you're looking at the DV tool, the stock one, and you have vacuum and you have surface, but then there's an altitude one in between there with a slider that you can slide back and forth as to see what the performance is at different altitudes. Once you're above about 10 kilometers or so, it's pretty close to being a vacuum. So it really doesn't matter what the atmospheric performance of this motor was. Pretty sure. Though, of course, the fact that I'm having this much trouble getting it up there, maybe that's... maybe I shouldn't be pretty sure. Okay, we can open some doors, too. Open those. Display an antenna. All right. Yeah, I think I'm not going to make it. Not going to make it. Wow. This is getting awful. Like, I'm just stopping. All right, that's another one. All right. Now this is getting embarrassing. Yeah, like if you go here, I'll show you what I was talking about. You go to the DV tool, you open this guy up, and it's being a little weird for some reason. There we go. And you can go to vacuum, right? And that's how much DV you have in a vacuum. But if you put it on altitude, and you start moving this up, like so on vacuum we had about 1120 meters, 1,122 meters of delta V with a thrust to weight of 1.23, and if I start moving up the altitude, oh, give it a chance to catch up. Sorry, it's not recalculating. There it is. Okay, so maybe not. It's most of the way. What was vacuum again? 1122. There's 1100 at 16 kilometers. Okay. Takes a bit to calculate. There, you're pretty close to there by about 22 kilometers. And it was above that. But what you do get is, with such a light vehicle, is the drag on this vehicle has a... I'm flying it like a big rocket when I should be flying it like a little rocket, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm going to try one more thing. One more thing before the stream is done. And this is more actually out of almost my own curiosity than it is about anything else. Is I'm going to try taking this rocket, going just with a steeper ascent and not reducing throttle. I think with a little rocket like this, I think it really... yeah, I could, again, I do have a lot. I could put another fuel can on it. That would be the smart thing to do, but I'm going to do the not smart thing. Just to finish off this stream, I'm going to see, because it's that long trip through the upper atmosphere on that little stage that I think screws this thing over. More thunderstorms. My goodness. So what I'm going to do... Oh, shoot. I got to wait for the bloody station again, don't I? That's annoying me more than anything. Okay. We're going to do this. with full throttle, not going to reduce. I'm going to go up on a pretty steep ascent, and the whole idea is punch this up into the upper part of the atmosphere, or up, you know, into space as quick as we can. So bang, bang, let go. But yes, putting on more fuel should do it. That's the solution to, that's the best solution to drag, is just brute force past it. Brute force past it. In fact, here, brute force, boom. Let's do that. Brute force. We're pitching over a little bit. I'm going to go much steeper than what I was doing before, and I'm not going to reduce throttle. We're just going to punch it. And see if that makes a difference. And I'm curious. I actually don't know if it's going to make a difference. Honestly don't know. So I'm just keeping it locked to prograde. Keeping it full throttle, not going to reduce the throttle. And I'm just going to go until apoapsis gets to 50 or 80 kilometers, and then we're going to, you know, push over and all that stuff. Okay. Bonk. There we go. Yeah, the shallower I sent does, I think it really, yeah, it's not so much the reduce, but the shallower descent does make a big difference. Okay, so we're on our way up. Do I want to do this whole thing, like make a maneuver node here? To do that, just to help me get the timing really good. Oh, for frick's sakes, on a frick stick. How can that? Can't be right. That can't be right. How can that be right? How can I possibly be that short? No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Then again, maybe I should. This says 715. Was it 715 in the VAB? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. The most annoying rocket I've ever had. Oh, I'm already past when I should have started to burn, so let's do it. According to it, anyway. Okay, the red bar went down instantly. I'm hoping that's a good sign. Oh, we're not making it. No way we're making it. No way. This is just getting to 1,000. I have 800 here. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Yeah, unless, like, numbers are really, really lying to me. We're not making it. I don't know if it's feeding us lies. I think it is a... I don't know what. Now, you know, like, that's the kind of ascent I would never do because I do think it's really inefficient to do it this way, but I thought just as an experiment, but maybe this way will work, but it ain't gonna work. I can tell it's not gonna work. We're gonna be out of fuel exactly when this is telling us we're gonna be out of fuel. That's it. All right. Back to the Space Center we go. But, you know, I'm looking at the time of the stream. That was goofy at the end. I mean, oh my golly. I've spent more money getting up 4 cans of monopropellant than I ever should have. I probably should have just sent up another one. Maybe I will do that. just send up another one of those big, that's starting to make more and more sense. One of those runabouts. Send up another one of those. Might have been a much more intelligent plan. But you know what? I'm looking at the time of the stream, and I'm thinking I'm going to be putting this one to bed right now. Now, don't forget, I do have RP1 coming up tomorrow. I have Reentry continuing on with Apollo 13 on Thursday. Another RP1 video coming out on Saturday, and then back to this a week today on Tuesday. In the meantime, thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you everybody watching this at a later date. Extra special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who directly support the channel, and all those people that indirectly support the channel by engaging with the content, either by watching, subscribing, thumbing, but I think most especially for participating in comments and in chats. Have yourselves a fantastic week, and we'll all see you in a week. Bye, everybody.